Now, after entering and completing all the initial ledgers and their opening balances, individual customers and their relevant balances, vendor balances, and inventory balances, our trial balance should show a complete position of the opening balance that should be entered so that we can go live on the system. So to check again trial balance, I'll go to reports and click on accounts, and let's click on trial balance. You can enter any selected period. For example, I want to see just for the January because this is opening balance. Click on display. So it is showing the exact same position that we have here, 5478539, 5478539. It was the position in the starting as well, but we have also entered individual details for the control accounts. So that means after after completion of all this, I'm live on the system. I'll just close it from here and close. So after that comes the day-to-day activities of our company, because we have already catered that scenario that if I want to switch from another accounting software to MYOB, then I need to enter the opening balances first to the up to this position. And after that, I'll just continue all the day-to-day transactions on MYOB because I have fully implemented MYOB now. So these are the journal entries with day-to-day transactions. Now, just remember before entering any of the transactions, whenever you will enter any kind of transaction in a business, it will be categorized either as a trading activity or a non-trading activity. Now, what is trading activity? Trading activity simply means that what is your main course business. Now, trading activity simply means that whatever is your main core business, that is, like in this case, it is selling and buying of inventory. So anything connected to the buying and selling of inventory or receiving its relevant payments will be considered as a trading activity. Now, what is non-trading activity? Any kind of side activities, like you have purchased a furniture for your office, paid rent, security deposit, any kind of paint and renovation. So these kind of activities are called non-trading activities. And similarly, the treatment will be different for both of them. So mostly all of the non-trading activities are recorded from the journal entry. So first entry is of January 3rd, 2020, and it says purchase furniture by giving cash. So I'll go to MYOB, and under the accounts tab, I'll click on record journal entry. Now I'll change the date to 3rd January 2020, and you can just copy and paste this details in the memo. Copy and paste. Now I need to select the account. I don't have the choice to select from name, rather I have the choice to select it from the ledger number. So that means if I have furniture, I cannot find it by name. Rather, I have to scroll it and search it manually. This is the main problem with MYOB. That in the searching area, it is not so efficient. I'll just select this one, furniture and fixture at cost, use account. Now the debit amount is 200,000. Press tab and tab. And since it is text free, this is selected by default on non-reportable. You can use this as well. So I'll just click on tab and continue to the next line. And since we are purchasing this asset by cash, so in the second line, I will select cash in hand, and in the credit area, it will automatically balance this transaction from debit to the credit. So it will show us the net details. Total debit is this, total credit is this, and out of balance is 0. That means this transaction has equal debit and credit sides. Now you can also paste this narration that we have copied here and in the second line as well. Now let's click record. Now let's move to the next transaction, that is advance rent paid for 6 months by cash, and rent is actually 5,000 per month, but we have paid all of it in the first week of January. That means for the upcoming 6 months we have paid the rent. So according to a journal perspective, it should be an expense, but because we have not yet consumed the benefit of that building rent, So we will treat is it as a prepayment. If you don't know about prepaid rent and its treatment, you can just Google it, that how to treat prepaid rent in accounts. So you will find all the articles and related entries for that. Now let's enter this transaction in MYOB. I'll change the date to 4th of January 2020, and the memo is this one. Now if we copy and try to paste all of it, it has the limited space, it will not paste. So let's try up to here. Okay, and then since it is advance rent, that is a prepayment, so I have to find prepayments. 12200, use this account, and amount is 30,000. And let's move to the next line. You can also paste this memo here. Second line is, since it is paid by cash, so select cash. It will automatically balance up debit and credit sides, and paste the memo and click on record. Now next transaction is of security deposit. It is also on 4 January 2020, and it says security deposit paid by cash for shop taken on rent. Now since the security deposit will be considered as an other asset, because current asset is usually which keeps remaining in the flow and whose life of the asset is less than 1 year. But in the security deposit case, if you are taking a building on rent and you are paying security against it, then it might be stored for another next 10 years. So it will be considered as an other asset. And since we are paying by cash, let's see how to do this entry. 4 January 2020, and I'll just copy a little bit of narration. Maybe it will not accept all of this. And security deposit will be under 2100, that is deposit paid, use account, and we have paid 30,000 against it. And the memo, I'll paste the same memo, go on the second line. Since it is paid by cash, let's pay by cash and write the memo again, and let's click on record. Now next transaction says paint and renovation expenses for shop taken on rent. Normally this is a maintenance and repairs expenses, which will be considered as an indirect expense in MYOB or any other software. So I'll just change the date to 6th of January 2020, and then under the memo I'll just copy this. Let's try to copy and paste all of it. So okay, now I need to find it manually. So just remember one thing, this codes means one, whatever starts with 1 is asset, from 2 it will be liability, it is the global scenario. 3 is equity, 4 is revenue, 5 is cost of sales, 6 is direct expenses usually, and 7 is indirect expenses. So but in MYOB, 6 category is too large, and it will merge direct and indirect expenses in this category. So maintenance and repairs is the area. Why I'm telling you the code sequence? Because whenever you want to find the expense, you just don't need to see it over here, you can just directly move to the 6 area. Or otherwise, if you don't want to scroll it, I can just write 6 and you will directly move to this area and select the relevant account, that was maintenance and repairs in this case, use account. And since we have paid 5,000 for it, right, 5,000, and under the memo I'll just copy this paint and renovation and press tab. And on the second line, since it is paid by, it is not mentioned how it is paid, but it is much obvious that if we have taken these services on credit, then there must be a vendor name as well. So if it is not mentioned, then it is 100% possible that it is paid by cash. So we will consider it paid by cash, and it will automatically pick up the credit amount and paste the memo, and let's continue and record it. So that's basically how you record non-trading activities as journal entries in MYOB.